Hi, everyone. My name is Robin, and we're going to talk about one simple change today. I am a nutritionist and have been in this industry for 11 years, and there has been a lot of changes that I've seen. So, I want to talk a little bit about what's going on with our health and nutrition and share with you one simple change that you can include in your life and in your family's life to make a difference in your health. So let's get started, and I thank you all for listening. There are two startling trends that are going on in our world today. One of them is our environment. So the toxins that are going on in the air that we breathe, you can't not breathe. You have to do that. In doing so, there is a certain amount of damage that is happening to you at a cellular level. The second startling trend, and this is just really startling, is that our food supply is diminishing rapidly. And in terms of the nutritional value that is in our foods, it's not a good thing. 50, many years ago, maybe in the 50s and the 40s, our food was more nutrient dense. Now, today, not so much. When you eat even fruits and vegetables, because they're not vine ripened, they're picked before all of the nutrients are able to run through. And then we have just a lot of chemicals in the foods. And so those two things are in a sense a perfect storm and is doing a number on us as a nation and our health. So the people must eat. And you know that nowadays we're busy and running around and there's TV dinners and fast foods. And I don't know if y'all remember when a big gulp used to be little and now it's humongous. So all of that is contributing to what we're going through. There used to be a time when a hamburger, well, the ones maybe our grandparents and way back when, was very different. I want you to understand this. Chickens are designed to grow in 78 days, right? And so now with the mass production of food, we can cut that down to 48 days. And let me tell you why that's a problem. Think about having a child. A child is in the womb for 9 to 10 months. Well, think about removing that child from the womb earlier than nature intended. In that case, it is not fully developed, and we have to use other methods to get it to develop. That is the same when we're doing that to the chickens and the foods. We're adding hormones and all of these things to mass produce it. Well, that's a problem. And if you see a chicken breast, they're really not as big as you may see them on your plate or in the stores. Tomatoes, another example, and not just tomatoes, but our fruits and vegetables. Look how long it can stay in your refrigerator. They're not designed to be indestructible tomatoes where they're in your crisper for weeks and weeks and weeks, right? And so you have to know that live enzymes don't stay alive that long. The food is designed to be consumed at a cellular level and to build us up. But the food that we have today is not quite the same. So, and that's why processed foods, they don't spoil as easy, they're more affordable. And so the food people, right, who's ever making the food, they know this and they want to make food that lasts long because it's better on their finances. So, because of soil depletion, crops grown decades ago were much richer with vitamins and minerals. I've said that before. And it's really stripped our produce of what our body needs. And since 1994, so going up through then till now, GMOs hit the grocery store, which is genetically modified organisms, which it's interesting because if y'all know, watermelon used to have seeds, grapes used to have seeds, even bananas have seeds. I don't know if y'all know that, but because the scientists are able to grow these items without what nature has intended for them, which are seeds, our bodies don't necessarily know what to do with that. So our health, more than 2/3 of us struggle with obesity. We have the highest sugar consumption in the world, and we are addicted to salty, fatty, sugary, processed foods. And that's just the truth because they taste really good. It's hard to get away from those items. And because of all of those things, what? You see more heart disease and stroke, more cancer. This is what's super startling is that I see this, that cancer is happening to younger and younger women. Yeah. And people that are listening, I'm sure that you know someone who's young who has cancer, and you're like, wait a minute, there's a problem here. Respiratory challenges such as asthma and COPD, all of these things are on the rise. Diabetes, out of control, simply because of the way that we eat. Alzheimer's disease. Remember when that wasn't a thing? Kidney disease, autism. Autism is off the charts. So it's very sad and alarming. Autoimmune. Now I can tell you this: when I started in this industry, I did not see what I see today. Today I see more lupus, more MS, more fibromyalgia, more rheumatoid arthritis, celiac disease, thyroid abnormalities, Crohn's disease, eczema. There are so many autoimmune challenges that are just more and more. Anxiety, constipation, that is huge. Not a lot of people talk about constipation, but let me just say this to you all. If you don't go to have a bowel movement a couple of times a day, your body is not processing the food and taking in the nutrients and getting out the waste as it should. That's kind of, I digress on that, but I wanted that to be said. Food allergies. Remember when we all could eat anything? Now it's like we need an EpiPen on the ready because of food allergies. Remember when, like now, peanuts, all these things are bothering the body. All of this correlated. Infertility, that is a huge thing going on. There really is a link between the additives in the common food and the processed foods to all kinds of problems that are going on in the body and immunity imbalance. That's scary, really, really scary. And so again, this just talks about the link between what we put in our bodies and then what we see going on. Now, the one simple change that we're going to talk about may not seem so simple initially, but plant foods, tried and true fruits and vegetables, literally is from the earth, from nature, and designed to heal our bodies from a cellular level and help us to grow. Because all of the nutrients that are found in plant foods really, really help us to build and to boost. So that's good news, right? The nuts, I don't know if this is bad news, but this is interesting, I would say, that we need 9 to 13 servings of raw fruits and vegetables every day. Now, remember when it used to be 5 a day? Well, because as I mentioned before, the nutrient content in the food that we eat is not the same. We have to have way more just to stay at an even level. So I don't know about you, and me even being a nutritionist, it is almost impossible to get 9 to 13 servings of raw fruits and vegetables in every day. I mean, when I heard that, I'm like, whoa, I'm not coming even close. And I want to live my best life. And I was thinking, it would be wonderful, right, if there was some other easy way to do that, because you know that juicing is a mess and it's expensive. Aha. But we're going to talk about one simple change that you can do that is so simple and so effective for the body. So let me talk about this. I know you're like, what? What can it be? So I want to introduce you all to what it's not what I call it is plant powders, fruits and vegetables in a capsule or a chewable. When I first heard about that, I was thinking, yeah, right. Super skeptical about it, because my thing was, oh, just eat your fruits and vegetables. When I then realized we need 9 to 13 servings, and you just don't eat all of that raw produce, I wanted to take a better look. And as a nutritionist, I can't just put my name on something without knowing that it is the real deal. Now, I would say this to you. When you go to your doctor, if you do, and you have any type of an ailment, they're going to tell you to change your diet and eat more fruits and vegetables. That's the word on the street. So when I looked at the research specifically about the fruits and vegetables in the capsule provided by Juice Plus, I knew it was the real deal. But again, super, super skeptical. And when my daughter started to incorporate it in her diet, because children are doing worse than we are, I saw so many great changes for having regular bowel movements. She'd be mad if I said that, but she knew she's not here. Regular bowel movements and just better things. For myself, this is what I noticed. And let me tell you this, if I can be honest, I didn't notice anything for more than a year. I was taking Juice Plus consistently and didn't notice. But let me tell you what I noticed after a year. And this is also what I noticed. The better that your diet is, the less likely you are to see something remarkable. But from a cellular level, you have to trust and believe that it's working. So from a cellular level, My blood work is perfection. Like really, like the doctor's like, oh my gosh, like you are in such good health. But what I know outwardly is had a lot of, my eyes were red. I used to put Visine in there every day. No more. I used to wear false nails. No more. My nails are super strong. And the thing that made me uber excited was when I went to the dentist said, oh, Robin, you are doing so well with your dental health. You're flossing, you're doing all of these things. You don't have any more inflammation in your gums. Clutch my pearls. I wasn't flossing or doing anything extra. It was me taking Juice Plus, which is known to help with inflammation, specifically with your dental health. So with that being said, I want us to hear from some others who have taken the plant powders into their diet and hear their stories. So I'm going to start with Dr. Bernetta. Can you tell us how'd you find out about Juice Plus and what it is that has happened to you?
Well, thanks, Robin. What I can tell you is that I can really relate to so many of the things you were saying. I kind of pulled back the curtain and realized that the food that I was eating was pretty much, killing me. And I made a drastic change in my life. I actually became a vegan. I started just, really focusing on plant food in my diet. But due to several surgeries that I've had, my doctor and I noticed that I even had some issues in my blood. And lo and behold, the vegan, who was working very hard to get all of this plant food in, was still struggling. And I think I'm with you. I didn't realize also that it really needed to be the 9 to 13. I think I knew I wanted to do more than 5, but hadn't gotten to that level yet. Because honestly, I didn't realize the decline in our soil and the lessening of the value of the nutrients in the vegetables that I was eating. But my blood sure figured it out. And my doctor said, you need to make an adjustment here. And I wasn't quite sure. I'd heard actually from you about Juice Plus, and I said the same thing. Oh, bless your heart, sweetheart. Yes, right. Veggies in a capsule. Okie dokie. But once I got desperate, I, called you. You'll remember. And I said, girl, I got to get this stuff quick. And long story short, within 30 days, we went back and did some new blood tests. And lo and behold, this stuff was in my blood. We're talking about a low 3.1 for my overall blood work, from that to a 4.6. I mean, if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I would not believe it. So to know that the Juice Plus was getting in there and actually changing the blood, ooh-wee. And I mean, it's just been off to the races since.
Yeah. I hear all these stories and sometimes it's still hard to believe. So let's hear from Adrian. And Adrian has been taking Juice Plus for a little while. So Adrian, tell us how long you've been taking it and just share your story.
Thanks, Robin. So I was introduced to Juice Plus 24 years ago. My sister had just died from cancer. She was 46, I was 45, and I was scared because I know that cancer runs in my family. My mother had had breast cancer and colon cancer, and I was not inspired to go eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. And one of my friends said, oh my gosh, she just had heard about a product that was fruits and vegetables in a capsule. It's what I needed. And all I wanted to do was take some capsules and not feel guilty, because I knew I needed to do something. I had 2 small children, and I really thought I was going to die like my sister. I mean, I didn't feel like I had any options, and I had no idea that it would do any difference for me. And I felt better the next morning. My head was clearer. My energy level was better in a couple weeks. My cravings changed, and I was very depressed. So to me, for even notice any of that stuff was unusual. And I called my father. I think I called my father first and asked him to do it because he used to be a big vitamin person. My dad is going to be 99 in September and credits his longevity with Juice Plus. My mother's going to be 99 next February. And cute, she blames me for the fact she's still here, but her health is really good. So, and then my kids were better. And my husband, I just said, just take it. It can't hurt. And he was regular in 3 days. His cholesterol level dropped 55 points in 4 months. All of his numbers went down, and all it was just taking some capsules. It's easier to me than flossing, which you're supposed to do. but you just swallow with the capsule. And I'm now, I'll be 70 next year. And I just know that my health is better than it was when I was in my 30s. And it's amazing because it's easy. I just need easy. I'm not a martyr. You know, give me some pills to take that work, that are backed by science, and I'm in.
Yeah, you look really, really good. So
Thank
next we're going to hear from Tammy and Rodney. And yeah, their story is really interesting. And what they'll share with you, but there is some, well, talk to us about Tammy and Rodney, what you've experienced by taking the fruits and vegetables. And I think you take them as a chewable. Tell us that, and what you've noticed with your A1C, and just kind of share with us your story.
Well, there's something I haven't told anyone. Last year, Mother's Day, I had an ear stroke, and I was supposed to be wearing hearing aids since the beginning of this year, and because I had lost my hearing in my right side, and one of the things the doctor said was you need to bombard your body with nutrients, and you come along, give me these chewables. Now that ear is just totally opened up. I mean, it was ringing in that ear from all of last year up until the beginning of this year, and right after I started taking those chewables, those gummy bears, oh my God, I used to just hear ringing all the time. Now it's like it's almost minute in that ear.
That's amazing. And
So not only that, it's going to help with the diabetes too. So,
wow, I'm really like, wow, because I actually never heard that. We're all like, wow.
Yeah,
wow.
I had an ear stroke.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So it not destroyed, but it damaged the my inner ear, and where I couldn't hear out of that ear. We were coming home, and I said, I can't hear. And when I got home, I said, I can't hear out of the ear at all.
Wow.
And so I went to an ear specialist, and he said, yeah, your ear is damaged beyond the point where I don't know if I can fix it or not, but maybe if you take a lot of nutrients, it could slow it down.
And he gave him a vitamin. It was a nutrient, a high potency vitamin. And he said it'll keep it from getting worse, but it won't restore it.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. He said it wouldn't restore it, but Deuce Plus is a different story.
That's great. You know, I totally, I mean, I'm in awe with that information. What I did know, because I knew this part about your journey with some of your medications and your A1C. Mm-hmm. Can you share that a little bit? Because I want people to hear or to understand when you tell that story, that it's important if you reduce your medication in any way that you do that with your doctor. But Tammy, tell us what's happening with medication and on kind of your dosaging since you've been taking the plant powders.
I'm off of Enbrel injections for psoriatic arthritis. I'm off of gabapentin. I was taking 300 milligrams 3 times a day. So those 6 of those pills. I'm off of methotrexate, which is a chemotherapy pill. When your body tries to attack itself, they give you chemotherapy pill for lupus and multiple sclerosis. Then they give you an antidote to keep your hair from falling out. And then I was on blood pressure pills, but my blood pressure is normal. I was on a cholesterol pill, 40 milligrams. Now it's on 20 milligrams. And then the cholesterol pill makes you ache, so they give you coenzyme Q10 for the achiness. And then I was subscribed to a whole bunch of vitamin mineral supplements, and I canceled all those subscriptions because I don't need that anymore. Usually during the summer when you have multiple sclerosis and lupus and arthritis, you have to stay indoors. I was in Palm Springs this weekend, and they kept saying, are you all right? Are you okay? And I said, yes, I'm fine, because I'm flooding my body with nutrients. And we was screaming from the rooftop and telling everybody what we were doing. And heat is the problem. I can't go outside. I can't go outside and play. But I was outside and I was playing. I was in the heat. I was sitting on the balcony and I was putting my feet in the water. I was in Palm Springs. I was in the humidity. I went on the Jesus walk and it was okay. And I was okay. I can go outside. I can, this will be my first summer in years that I can be outside because I'm flooding my body with nutrients.
Thank you so much. So super powerful. So powerful. Whew. Okay. I'll put myself together because I'm like getting emotional. Thank you. Last, we're going to hear from Alma. Last but not least. And so Alma, are you there?
Yep, hi, I'm
Hi,
right
Alma. So Alma
Hi.
was challenged with autoimmune. And tell us, Alma, what has been your experience since flooding your body with the plant powders? And then also, if you don't mind, we didn't mention the omegas, but we should because there is a all plant-based omega. So Alma, share your story.
Okay. I was a really healthy person, active, playing sports, 4 kids, church. I was involved in everything, and then just one day I got really sick, didn't know what's going on. And within 7 years, I was diagnosed pre-diabetic. I had fibromyalgia, arthritis, neuropathy. So I was just like, I was suicidal. I just wanted to die after that. And my kids had to brush my hair after I took a shower. They had to help me clothe. My husband would massage my legs every day because of the pain I had with neuropathy. So then, like, I think my 6 years into it, I said, my sister actually found me a holistic doctor. So I started seeing a holistic doctor. He took away a lot of my foods. But I knew, and he kept telling me, you got to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. And I work in the food service, so I knew I had to get 9 to 13 servings. And 9 to 13 serving is a lot. It's like one serving is a big plate. So my school district had a health fair, and I saw posters of fruits and vegetables. And I sat in front of that person, which is Robin, and I got some information, and I also still thought about it. Came home and I thought about it. Robin called me and we talked and we did our thing. And within like 2 weeks that I started taking my plant-based, I saw a difference. I said, what is this? I mean, I just started researching. I had energy. I used the restroom. I always say that because I was always constipated, but now I go 3 times a day. Every time I eat, I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom.
She's telling
There's so much when you start feeding your body, you start feeling so much better that you don't even notice it after all. I've been on it for a year now, and just by listening to Ronnie right now, my husband had the same thing where his ear was ringing. He hasn't said anything about it, but none of us say anything. It's like, okay, it's like you don't think about it. It's gone.
Wow.
But yeah, he just said that. Yeah, but I was like on 5 medications. I'm off all those medications. I mean, it was narcotics. It was medicine where I was like, felt like in La La Land. My husband is also off his high blood pressure. Within that same year, which was last year, my son was diagnosed with kidney disease. And as soon as I started Juice Plus, everybody was on Juice Plus because they saw Mom. We're like, what's going on? This is doing something great with Mom, So my son was diagnosed with kidney disease. His urine was the color of a cherry. And I'm like, what's going on? We end up in the emergency, finding, they sent us to a kidney doctor, and he said, don't change anything, I'm like, okay, yeah, okay, whatever. So we were already on Juice Plus. So eventually I did change his diet. His kidney disease, when we went back before he left, he says, wow, it's not showing much anymore. You have to use a microscope to see the minimal blood in his urine now. I was like, I felt so much better now that he's off, off from college. I feel like I don't have to worry too much. I packed him with his 4-month supply Juice Plus, and he's gone. Yeah. So I noticed there's so much. Yeah, so much that I have noticed.
Thank you so super much. I think to whom is listening to this, and I want to say this, Juice Plus is not a miracle anything. Because you hear these stories and you're like, well, how can this be true? Because when you're flooding your body with 30 raw plants every day, And that's not what you're getting by eating that. Your body responds. It knows where to go. It's backed by research and science, which is amazing. I want, if Dr. Bernetta, would you mind sharing, because people ask, well, what to expect? Like they hear all these stories and, you know, they're thinking, well, if this happened to them, then what can I expect? Can you talk a little bit about what they can expect from taking Juice Plus?
Well, as you can tell from the stories that you've heard, you almost never know. Every single body is different. I think you just said something, Robin, that when you get all these nutrients in your body knows where they're needed and how to use them. That's the great part. And so, you know, when you first start, you could immediately, like Adrienne said, the next day she woke up and she could feel better. But you also could have that moment where one of my recent clients said, oh my God, you know, I have a headache and I'm tired because there's all this detoxing and cleansing going on. And so we try to help people know that there's a myriad of effects that can happen here. But if you'll be patient and walk your way through a process, I'm telling you, there are many benefits, many benefits.
And you can be like me and feel nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing. But knowing that from a cellular level, and research shows that when you're flooding your body in 4 months, your blood will change. So that's a powerful thing. So people, we don't know what to tell you to expect because everybody's body is different. But just do it because what if, right? It's fruits and vegetables in a capsule or a chewable. And what if? What if it helps you? This is what I want to also say before we wrap this up is the first question people will have is, well, how much is it? Which was my question. And I tell this true story because I had a very nice purse on my arm that day, a designer bag. And I never have had the designer call me to tell me thank you. I've had the designer care about my internal health, but I was really quick to buy that bag and then ask, well, how much is Juice Plus? Then I realized my priorities are not right because anything that's going to help me is for me. But even to squash all that, Juice Plus is less than a cup of Starbucks every day. It's less than what it would be to buy 30 raw fruits and vegetables in the store every day. So if your question ever comes up, well, how much is it? Is it affordable? It is affordable. And then what are you worth, right? For your own health. Other things people say is, well, I'm already taking a vitamin. I'm already taking a multivitamin. Juice Plus is not a multivitamin. In fact, when you're taking Juice Plus, you don't need a multivitamin. And I can tell you this, I used to sell a multivitamin and no one, and I'm talking about in 11 years, called my phone to tell me that multivitamin had helped them in any way that they could put their hand on as far as their health and nutrition. But every day, I get a text, an email, or something about a story about how Juice Plus has helped them. And because I'm a nutritionist and I work with clients, I get it all the time. So people come up with, oh, this is another one. I got to ask my doctor before I do it. And then I'm going to say this, Bernetta. Did you ask your doctor before you went to McDonald's or before you had a Red Bull? These are fruits and vegetables. What do you have to ask your doctor? It's fruits and vegetables. It has a nutrition facts label, just like going to the store and getting broccoli, literally. So if that's your question or that's your concern, don't say it to us because we will tell you the real deal. So with that being said, y'all have heard some wonderful stories, and I encourage you to get with the person who sent you this video and get these plant powders in your body ASAP. It is the one simple change that you can do that can make so much of a difference in your health and nutrition. I think that's it. My name is Robin. Thank you, Dr. Bernetta, Adrienne, Tammy, and Rodney, and Alma for sharing your amazing stories and your journeys. And we hope that you all that are listening too will have the opportunity to share your story as well. Sending love and blessings, and we thank you for being here, and get with the person that shared this video with you and ask them how you can get these plant powders in your diet. Take care.